Breaking, unearthed audio recording of rapper Uncle Luke talking about a party he went to at Mar-a-Lago.
Let me get into this Luke going to Trump party controversy that all of a sudden hit the wire today. Before I get into the rest of the show, this Uncle Luke going to Donald Trump and seeing drugs and seeing people underage and all that and everything. Number one, let me just say this. I voted for Kamala Harris. I supported Kamala Harris. I'm a Democrat. That's number two.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Number three, I don't lie on people at all. I don't lie, period.
Nigga, please.
Chesley Major.
I like this Chesley Major.
Miami, Florida, MIA. What they do, what's happening in Gunshine State. Yes, Lord, home of the Hispanics that voted for Donald Trump and the biggest tethersphere in the world. MIA, FLA, the bottom, all that. Also home to Uncle Lukey Dookie, Mr. Pop That Cootie, that guy. The same guy who had a failed attempt at running for mayor, he's at it again. But this time, Uncle Luke, he's running for congressman of the 20th district right now. He's going to be running against Shiftless McCormick, but he's running against her amongst others. And I pretty much doubt that anyone votes for Mr. Lizard. I mean, to be fair, he may get a few votes, but overall, he's at a loss. Here's why. There's a recording going around. And in this recording, Uncle Luke can be heard talking about his good times with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. In this first video, he says it was nice and decent, clean fun. But there's more. So we're going to dive into a little video of what Luke describes went on. Check this out.
Rapper Uncle Luke talking about a party he went to at Mar-a-Lago. A lot of these women ain't of age, so when you have a whole bunch of these women running around, whether you know if they are of age or not, you know there is a lot of things going on. Some women look too young. Yeah, there was a lot of sex going on. It's time to abandon Trump. So let's hear what Uncle Luke says about this first, and then I'm going to go back and play the audio in question.
But that was a content creator that goes by the name of Sabby. I frequently tune into her. Y'all go check her out and subscribe to her channel. Uncle Luke, he's got his ass in a cast and his nuts in a clutch right now. And it's not looking too good because he's already got a bad rap sheet, but after this, his credibility is shot. He's saying this and he's saying that. Those two things just don't match. But you all pay attention and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's continue.
Get into this Luke going to Trump party controversy that all of a sudden hit the wire today. Before I get into the rest of the show, this Uncle Luke going to Donald Trump and seeing drugs and seeing people underage and all that and everything. When I went to Donald Trump, when Donald Trump invited me, Mike Tyson, along with Eddie Murphy, we rode up there. Trump invited us. Donald Trump was a Democrat at the time. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what his party affiliation was. I just knew that Donald Trump had nice, cool parties. And to be invited to a billionaire house in West Palm Beach, Mara-largo, which was a cool thing. He hung out with all the other rapper executives and all the other black executives, did fights. He had the USFL football team and all that cool thing.
So to be fair, that was Donald Trump back in the day. Like there's pictures of Donald Trump hanging out with Diddy, with Mike Tyson. Like back then he was kind of, really heavily like in that space. Donald Trump is in the Bobby Brown On Our Own video, the song from the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. That's how it used to be. That's why some people were shocked when Donald Trump decided to run as a Republican, because we were like, whoa, what is happening here? Like he used to, he was a Democrat. He used to hang out with like the hip hop. Like,
remember, he was a Democrat and all he did was hang out with blacks. She is right. Let's continue.
The man was also mentioned in maybe 1,500 rap records where every rapper from New York glorified him. You see what I'm saying? This was Trump. You hang out with Trump, was a cool dude. Trump always had beautiful people hanging around him. Did I see anybody taking drugs? No. I did not see anybody taking drugs. Did I see underage girls running around? No. I did not see underage girls running around. That man didn't get nothing but be a host, just like any other host.
You done fucked up, right?
I see what I'm saying.
No. You know you done fucked up, right?
Yeah, so that was Uncle Lukey Dookie, Mr. Throw That D, Pop That Coochie, saying, you know, I was there, but ain't nothing go on. But let's continue.
Okay? I don't like what the fuck he got going on in America right now today, but am I going to sit up here and lie about what the fuck was going on over there?
Oh, it's about to get juicy and spicy. Wait round for it.
Listen to this here.
To live crew, rap star from the early 1990s, Uncle Luke. He talks about going to a Mara-largo party. He left right away. He thought he was going to get extorted because the girls all looked underage, or a lot of them looked so young, he said, that he had to get the hell out of there, because, just using his words, because he didn't want anything to do with what he was seeing there. He said that there was sex and underage girls, and this is what he observed, and he wanted to get the hell out of there. Here's what he said.
If the man took us around the house, okay, he said, look, I got all these women. I got these women from the pageant. They're going to be there. So we went. It was like, hey, man, I got a pageant down here. I'm hosting these women at the house. Okay, up in Palm Beach, they shared some cars.
He refused to go down alone. Now watch him throw Eddie and Mike under the bus with him.
Mike, Eddie Murphy, we all in our own individual cars. Car service drove us up there. We got there. He showed us around the house. You know, told us about this mansion and the history behind it and all that. Just the golf course. It was dark. We couldn't see the golf course and things like that. And then before you know it, hey man, y'all enjoy yourself. We got cocktails and everything. And before you know it, the rooms and everything start popping. There wasn't no DJ.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You did know what was going on. You did.
You know what he said. Whatever room you gonna go in, you go into that room.
So you say no DJ? There was no music? Or the music?
No, there wasn't no music.
No music.
That was the interesting part about it. There wasn't no music.
So women just naked in rooms with no music.
Hey, people walk around. And it was, listen, it wasn't nothing wrong there. I was happy to be at that party. But
You done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
at the end of the day, when I started looking at some of these girls' faces, I was like, man, these girls don't look like they're old enough.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask nobody their age. And then all the other stuff going on, you know, it was like, okay, I can't be up here. I got to go. If I'm going to jail, then somebody's going to extort me. I really, you know, I don't do drugs. Never did it in my life. You know, I smoked marijuana 2 times, you know, when I was in high school, and I didn't like the experience as far as drugs. I may have sold drugs. I never liked the people who I sold them to when I was young, because I thought they were stupid for buying it. So I never cared to indulge in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do see people doing it, if I'm around it, I get away from it. The thing is, when you're around, I've been around a lot of models and a lot of these pageant women, because that's what mostly it was. It was mostly pageant women, and a lot of these women ain't of age. So when you got a whole bunch of these women running around, whether they of age or not, you know, there's a lot of things going on. You just, you know, some women look too young.
Oh,
so you keep it moving.
I see.
You know, so I wasn't nobody beating no women, or nobody taking advantage of no women. I mean, they were all enjoying themselves. That's what they were there for. But were they old enough to be enjoying themselves? I don't know.
Was there sex?
Of course there was.
I guess that's a stupid question now to ask. Okay, so I think I got you now. You're saying that all this was going on and you weren't clear as to whether these were adults.
Nigga, please.
I wasn't clear whether or not they were adults, and I wasn't clear whether or not you know, whether I wanted to be in that kind of environment where some of these other things that was going on in it. I ain't gonna too much elaborate about everything else that was going on outside of the sexual act.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
But
Well, my brother, we love for you too. We love for you too. That's why we on Sirius XM. Because we can open it up. We on Sirius XM. We can bust it wide open right here.
The drugs and the alcohol and the sex and all that. But I don't talk about the drugs and the alcohol and the sex.
But now you did say that if you were on XM, you could talk about it. So that's why we here, man. I mean, people, inquiring minds want to know.
I said I would use the profanity and all that, yeah, and talk about, you know, naked people and all that. But then the drug part, I don't want to talk about that part.
You see something? You know you done fucked up.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, did I see anybody taking drugs? No.
You know you done fucked up, right?
I did not see anybody taking drugs. Did I see underage girls running around? No. I did not see underage girls running around.
You know you done fucked up, right?
Uncle Luke, now I would not vote for no goddamn Uncle Luke. Here's my reasons why. Uncle Luke was at the top, CEO or owner, whatever you want to call it, of 2 Live Crew. Uncle Luke didn't look out for nobody but himself, just like a tether does. Uncle Luke left Brother Marquise in the dust. Uncle Luke also left Fresh Kid in the dust. Mr. Mix also. Fresh Kid Ice died in the van. Broke. So you telling me you couldn't handle your group, you couldn't handle your crew and make sure everybody was looked out for? How the hell you gonna make sure the people looked out for? Come on, man, we know about your dancers. I'm from the crib. Your dancers, you didn't look out for your dancers, man. You treated them horribly. Let's keep it 1K. You feel me? So now you want to double back around in your latter years, in your elder years, to talk about you running for Congress. But a lie just don't care who tell it. And right now, you lying. And that part right there is going to hurt your little raggedy ass campaign. It's not looking good for him. This post from Black Enterprise on my timeline on Facebook. From band to ballot, Uncle Luke launches his congressional bid for South Florida seat. Now, these are some of the comments. This guy, Kenny Ray, says, "No, sir." Other person says, "No Tether Tuesday, my boy. He's not FBA." L.A. Campbell replied, "Is his campaign slogan, I want to rock right now?" Other person says, no. Uh-oh, somebody said, "Go ahead." Another person said, "It's a no for me." Another person says, "Nah." Somebody said, "It's about time." Another person says, "Please no." Another person says, "No, bro, just no." Another person, "No." Another person says, "We don't need immigrants speaking for us." Thumbs down. Somebody put fire emoji. Okay. Just like Stephen A. Smith, no one's going to vote for him. It's not looking too good for Uncle Luke. It's really not looking too good. But we'll just have to see how this goes. Who knows? He could win by a landslide. Never know. But I seriously doubt it. Jason Black over at the Black Authority channel had a very interesting take, and I agree with him. Check out what he had to say.
Luther Campbell, that group of degenerates, and now in our current era, it has really put a lot of this into proper perspective. We were not okay with this back in the early 90s. This came out of nowhere. You go take a look at everything else that was happening in rap music. I mean, we talking about NWA, Public Enemy, The Resistance. Rap music became the music of the resistance. And then here comes Luther Campbell. Don't stop, pop that, let me see you do-do brand. And the 2 Live Fools. And all of a sudden, rap is not singularly focused on consciousness, singularly focused on our revolutionary heritage and culture of resistance. All of a sudden, we took a big old swerve off into the strip club. And then it is after this that you see the pedal to the metal and the big push to commercialize rap. And of course, it's all going to be about dancing the jig and then strip club culture, and away we go. When you have somebody sit up here and try to denigrate rap about the gangsters, let's be clear. When you listen to NWA's first album, what was the song that set the world on fire? F the police. It is not your academics that told us to resist. It is not your academics who told you to not accept injustice. It was not your academics that told you to fight back. In the words of Dr. John Henry Clark, it was the street cats. It was the gangsters. It was the G's who didn't take nothing off of nobody. Those were the ones that told everybody, hey, we ain't gonna stand for this. We're not gonna stand for it.
To add insult to injury, this was the height of the crack epidemic.
Those are the ones who gave us the philosophy of resistance. And we have respected that. So when you listen to those rappers, when you heard that then, don't let some jackass go on Tucker Carlson or something and mislead you. What they were talking about was resistance and fighting the system. Because if you watch that documentary, Bastards of the Party, about the origins of the Bloods and the Crips and how that's directly out of the Panthers. Well, yeah, it's the gangsters in the neighborhood, the so-called gangsters. And what we were bumping and thumping was something totally different. So you see, when Rodney King got beat, black folk were driving around playing F the police. That was programming that came from us. So when the police were brutalizing folk, you already knew what to do because you got the soundtrack playing for the last 2-3 years. F the police.
Yes, I remember those times vividly.
So that you are fearless in the face of injustice. Few years later, here comes 2 Live Crew.
Let me see your doo-doo brand. Don't stop.
I will not say that they are a CIA op. I will just say if they were not a CIA op, they'll certainly do till the CIA op gets here. And then next thing you know, we have swerved off and all of a sudden we are talking about literally anything and everything except resistance against the system of white supremacy. You're talking about everything now except that. And this is when the tide began to turn. The next thing you know, they're not talking about gangsters as resistance. They're talking about, quote unquote, the gangster lifestyle. Next thing you know, it's all about hoes, pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac doors. White supremacy does not care what you're talking about, just so long as you're not talking about them. You can discuss anything you want to. Stop talking about them. Go watch the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It came out at this time. 1991. It came out at that time. Go watch the t-shirt that young John Connor, the future would-be revolutionary who saves the world. Take a look at the t-shirt he's wearing, Public Enemy. And yes, I understand it's double entendre, but the point of the matter is, go take a look at another movie. I think James Cameron produced Strange Days. Once again, similar theme there about rap and hip hop influences there. We were leading the culture as we do today. We were leading the culture, but that was the direction we were leading them in, and everyone recognized it. A culture of resistance. And our music was the soundtrack of that at a level that they thought they had seen the height in the 60s and 70s. They had no idea we were going to have it going by the end of the 80s. Hell yeah, you better get out there and derail it. And then you should not be surprised to hear that Luther Campbell, one of the chief architects of derailing that, oh yeah, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, he's got my OnlyFans.
So I wouldn't vote for dude. Like, I didn't really listen to 2 Live Crew growing up. 2 Live Crew was something that I heard at parties. He may have had this one song I kind of liked, but he did it off of a nursery rhyme. It was like 1 and 1, we having some fun in the bedroom all day and all of the night. Something like that. You know the song. But anyways, That's about it. But everything else, I just watched the girls gyrate and jiggle and swing their butt cheeks from side to side. Had clubs like Pac Jam, the Carver Center, the Bay Station, Sunshine Skating Ring. You know, we would go there and dance with them. Then the dancing ass niggas came along who actually danced to this music, and we called those guys Get It Boys. See, I wasn't a Get It boy. Now, Get It Boys wasn't getting it like they wasn't getting money. Rather getting it on the dance floor, I would say. Throwing that D, fighting the air, getting it in that way. You see what I'm saying? So all the girls loved Get It Boys because they was slanging D and making their bodies move in a way that a man shouldn't make his body move, but they was doing it and the girls really liked it. To us, it was feminine. We seen them as suckers or whatever. We just didn't like it. So, yeah, there was a lot of fisticuffs and brawls and people got hands put on them and all kind of stuff. All over dancing because dudes were dancing like women. When Doo-Doo Brown came on, dudes was actually doing the Doo-Doo Brown. I'm serious. Dudes was gyrating their butt cheeks like a stripper in the club. You dig? And we just wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I really vibe with JT Money's music. I really vibed off Trick Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Not so much when he was with Luke, him and Verb, but when he came out with his own thing on Slip and Slide, I really, kind of vibed to that. Then you got Ross. It was more, lyrical, it was more wordplay. But with Luke ain't got no goddamn talent. Luke ain't never had no talent. Luke had to go employ FBAs to make 2 Live Crew work. All Luke did was scream, get it. Luke ain't got no goddamn talent. You call that music? The music came from Mr. Mix. Mr. Mix was an FBA from California who Luke brought to MIA to do the beats and scratch it and cutting on the mix. Also, Brother Marquise. Brother was from California. Now, I don't quite know the history on the Chinaman, but he was cool, he was cool beans. But that's the crew. And out of everybody, Luke just had the connects. Luke knew the dope boys. Luke had the cash, whatever have you, and the freaks and the girls. But Luke ain't had no goddamn talent. Luke was the puppet master. And in the end, he cashed out while everybody else went broke. And that's the guy you want to be your congressman? Really? Nah. But anyways, let me know what you think about the video. Leave a comment below. Also, click that like button if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Peace.